Up next in the saga of Daniel Martin Díaz and the decks that I have been showcasing on my channel. Stay tuned. Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining me. I've been so immersed in all of Daniel's creations and working with them. So I'm not just like doing these walkthroughs. I'm also like going through these and using them and just immersing myself in his brilliance. So today we are going to go through the Enigma Oracle. It is the hidden knowledge and symbolic code. So you know this one is going to be fabulous. Again, I mean, the box itself is intriguing to look at. It's that optical illusion, you know, which is really interesting in itself when we think about that, how that works. So the Enigma Oracle, this is the guidebook. And we've got code down here, which is really interesting. We have, and look at, I love the image because again, I feel this. This is right. I think that we communicate this way before we communicate any other way, especially when we are tapped into our spiritual self. You know what I mean? The consciousness, the collective. I think that they are the same. I think that's why we seek. You know, I think that's our spiritual side is connected to the collective. But that's just my opinion. So enter the Enigma. Beneath its surface, Enigma is an oracle deck, an instrument of divination designed to illuminate what often remains hidden, personal truths, subtle forces, and the quiet architecture of the inner world. Each card embodies an archetype, a symbolic current, or a distinct state of consciousness. Together, they form a visual and intuitive language that invites the subconscious to speak. When used with intention, Enigma becomes a mirror for inner awareness, offering insight, clarity, and meaningful reflection for those willing to explore the unknown. I love that. Divination, from the Latin divinare, is the practice of seeking knowledge through symbols, signs, and intuition. Oh, I love that. It is not limited to predicting the future. Rather, it is a deeper engagement with the present. Divination uncovers hidden knowledge, interprets dreams, and clarifies complex relationships. The Enigma deck is designed as a tool for this work, a guide for those navigating uncertainty, transformation, or the desire to better understand themselves. It is an oracle meant to be read, contemplated, and listened to. The design of Enigma is inspired by vintage game boards and printed ephemera from the 1940s, an era when games held more than just entertainment. They carried stories, symbols, and hidden meanings. This aesthetic grounds the deck in a space that feels both nostalgic and mysterious, blending the familiar with the unknown. Every detail from the typography, sometimes my mouth does not speak what I'm thinking. Typography to the layout is crafted to evoke a sense of timelessness and quiet intrigue. Enigma is more than an oracle deck. It's also a mini-game inspired by classics like Bingo and Loteria. Oh my gosh, this is freaking phenomenal. I almost said the other word. I think I did say it, but anyway. This adds a ritualistic layer where structure meets symbolism. You can use the deck however it best fits your life. As a game, a tool for insight, a mirror for reflection, or a companion on your journey. Its flexible design moves with you whether you're looking inward, in solitude, or sharing meaning with others. Wow. So this deck, the deck includes 63 cards in total, 2 ad cards, 54 oracle cards, and 7 mini playing cards. Oh, this is just going to be phenomenal. Okay, so stillness. Before drawing a card, sit quietly. Let the noise of the day settle. You may wish to light a candle, touch the deck, or hold a small object that grounds you in the present. What matters most is your intention, to see clearly and to listen fully. So then it talks about the questions. Like, these are the questions best for the deck to answer. To seek clarity, not control. So instead of will this happen, ask what energy surrounds this choice, or what truth am I not seeing? Avoid yes or no frames. The cards speak in symbol, not absolutes. Oh, and then these are some spreads. And the sequence, reflection. Do not rush to interpret. Sit with the images. Yes. Consider what is activated in your thoughts, memory, or emotional response. The cards are not answers. They are mirrors. Oh, I love that he said that, because that's it. That's it. We have the answers inside of us, and the symbols, and, you know, just like when our subconscious speaks to us through symbols like dreams and, you know, just thoughts out of the blue, right? When we see repetitive numbers, or, you know, things that we don't normally see, all of a sudden we're noticing it more than we would any other time. It's because it's our subconscious. It's our higher consciousness is trying to send us a message, right? But the answers are within us. So it's guiding us. It's guiding us to those answers. Wow. The work of divination is not to predict, but to perceive. I love this man. I love his mind. Enigma offers no final answers, only pathways into deeper understanding. What you find in these cards depends on the quality of your attention, your willingness to question, and your capacity to sit with ambiguity. Use the deck with care and return to it often. With each reading, the language becomes clearer. Over time, what first appeared as mystery may come to feel like memory. Wow. Wow. How to play Enigma. Oh my goodness. I feel like I have seen this before. Very interesting. Wow. Wow. Okay. So, this is gonna, I'm definitely gonna have to like take some time. I don't know if it'll be in this video, or this is going to take a while before it airs, but I would like to do this and maybe show you as I do it. So when I say I work with these, like I do this walkthrough and then I work with it for a while, just like I have been working with the previous decks that I've showed you, and I've immersed myself. So I have not immersed myself in this one yet, but you know I'm going to. This is fabulous. Look at that. That's fabulous. Wow. Okay. So, and then there we have the cards. Okay. So let's go through these cards and look at them, and maybe we'll pop in here and see what he has written up for each card. And then if we have time at the end of this, instead of any pairings, we'll play a game of Enigma. All right. So again, he has this box within a box, which is excellent because it just keeps the cards really nice. It's like opening up a brand new deck every time, you know? And it's a nice sturdy tuck box also. So there's a little bit more on the outside of this tuck box. I see. Okay, so let's move this stuff out of the way so it's not distracting you from these cards. All right, so here is the cover card. Yep, these are the backs, and again, these are, you know, bigger than standard, but smaller than what I would say a standard oracle is. least what I'm used to working with. And of course, linen, which I absolutely love, which makes these easy to shuffle. All right. We have tooth. Yeah, I can definitely, This is interesting right off the bat. I need to see what the book says about. I have to take a drink of my coffee. What does the book say about tooth? So it's 5 here. Wisdom, transition, resilience. A tooth floats in space. Okay. Shed, yet glowing, surrounded by subtle energy. The tooth marks a pivotal shift, a moment when something once essential is no longer needed. It is the emblem of coming of age, of painful wisdom earned through experience. A tooth doesn't fall from weakness. It falls because its purpose is complete. In its absence, something stronger is made ready to emerge. This card speaks to growth through release. You are being asked to let go of a belief, role, or identity that once served you but has now become limiting. The discomfort of this process is not failure, it is evidence of evolution. Like losing a tooth, it may feel strange or unsettling, but it clears the way for deeper strength to take root. The tooth also signals individuation, claiming your truth, even if it sets you apart. It is the quiet courage to move forward without what once defined you. Growth begins when you stop resisting the natural shedding. Oh my goodness. And it has reversed. Fear of change, stunted growth, or clinging to a familiar identity. Something must be released. You can't hold on and evolve at the same time. So as I was reading this, and it's like when this popped up, I remember a friend of mine telling me that she used to have dreams of her teeth coming, like falling out of her mouth. And she wasn't the only one. It's like I've had a couple people tell me this, and I've also like read that that's a common thing. And it has a symbolic meaning. And it's not always, you know what I mean? It has a deep symbolic meaning. And we think about roots, you know. It is. It's a shedding of something, because when you think about that, these are rooted in your mouth, for one. And sometimes if we're pulling it out, we're literally forcing something to leave. If it falls out naturally, then it's like a natural shedding. Holy smokes. I never would have thought about the tooth as a symbolic, you know, reference to something, but I think everything has that. So when you attribute what it, like the simplicity in what it is, and then use that to dig deeper into all the many things that it could mean, that's when we find a deeper meaning. You know, like house in your dream, it's you, right? It's that. It just makes sense. The scorpion. I could like read through each one of these, honestly, because I know when I think of the scorpion, I do think of like death, you know. I also think of poison. So I have to look, guys. I have to, because I need to know what those symbols mean. I'm thinking you're thinking the same thing. Defense, transformation, instinct. Okay. Wow. The scorpion is a creature of shadow and instinct. Quiet, precise, and protective. It symbolizes the hidden sting. Yeah. The unseen boundary and the fierce clarity that comes when pushed too far. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It will sting you. It will bite you. You know what I mean? If it's threatened. Wow. Yeah, not bite, but yeah, sting. Wow. I remember, because I am very much a student of true sidereal astrology. So the people that were once Scorpios are now Virgo or Libra. In fact, my other half, his birthday just passed. It was October 31st. And Scorpio just never fit him. And now knowing that he's actually a Virgo makes sense to me. So yeah, that's just, thinking out loud. Divination. Yes. Now to me, that makes absolute sense. What's interesting is look at how many fingers there are there. Wow. Actually, there's like 2 pinkies, right? And the pinky represents Mercury, the mental plane. Also Mercury is commerce. It also has to do with health. But then we have divination. Let's at least look at the keywords. I know this is going to be long, sorry. Perception, anomaly, and foresight. Wow. Yeah. Illusion. Wow. Lungs. And there's a UFO. And eyes. What are we breathing in? What are we taking in? What are we nourishing ourselves with? I'm not even looking. I'm just I'm gonna use my intuition here before we look in the book. The swarm. Wow. And look, there's a crown. And it's a swarm of bees. But we love bees. I mean, people can have allergic reactions. There's always a negative and a positive to everything. But wow. The universe. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I've definitely seen this before, right? We saw this in his other deck. Okay, so I want to say there will also be just a flip through, a silent flip through with some music, because you already know that I am already taking too long with my rambles and stuff. But wow, look at this. I mean, again, without actually looking at the guidebook, we've got like DNA, we've got sequence. I mean, definitely patterns. And it's the universe. And it's number 10. That's like the beginning and the end all in one, right? Yeah, absolutely. Love. Definitely, we saw this before too. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Okay, this is that card that's in the book, the picture in the book. We've got mind control, surveillance, symbolic. So these are key words. And this is not numbered. So that must have been, okay. Gotcha. Part of the intro or whatever. I had them all mixed together, obviously. Divining. Yeah. And he has the D for his name and divining. And then, wow. And those are those rods, right? I forget what they're called. Are they divining rods or whatever? You know what I'm talking about. Wow. And just our hands alone, right? We divine with our hands. Wow. The heart. Love and hate. All on the same pole. They're the same. Within a degree of each other. Wow. Yes. I'm thinking tattoos, right? The umbrella. Holy smokes. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's always so much that falls under that umbrella. And look at the rain is underneath the umbrella. It's not protecting you from, and that's the key, right? Knowledge. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Knowledge is power. Power can be addictive also. It's what you do with the knowledge, right? Because it's not wisdom until you have applied it and learned from it. So knowledge and wisdom are not the same thing, in my opinion. The obelisk. Wow. The beast. Ooh. I love that he uses hands. I mean, yes. Wow. And the beast has the masculine at the top. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, absolutely. And look at the horns are upside down. I mean, the moon. Wow. Interesting. Consciousness. That's it. That's it. That's what we were seeing. So that makes sense to me. That absolutely makes sense. You've got the divine spark. It's also, you know, wow, that yod or whatever. It's not just a tear. It's divine. It's our consciousness is divine. And it sees everything because it's the beginning, it's the end, it's everything. If you know where to look, right? If you know where to look. Ooh, the messenger. The messenger. Yes. Yes. We are the receiver. And then we are the messenger. Wow. And look, I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. It's just phenomenal. This man is phenomenal. The crystal. And that's what I love about art. You know what I mean? No matter where it comes from, because art is in everything. It speaks to us on our subconscious level. And not always are we aware of it, but we're still receiving a message. We may not understand it, but it's still sitting in the body somewhere. Time. Time is an illusion. Definitely. It doesn't exist except for right now. The ear. Yeah. And these yods are... Okay. Let's look. 18, because I'm very intrigued. The ear. Portal. Reverence. Clarity. The ear is not merely an organ, it is a doorway. To listen is to open yourself to frequencies beyond speech. The tremble behind words, the silence between breaths, the ache tucked inside another's tone. This card invites you to become a vessel of resonance, not reaction. A bleeding ear, okay, a bleeding ear suggests you may have heard too much. Absorbed more than you were meant to carry. Yet even pain can clarify. Listening deeply transforms sound into meaning. You are being asked to shift from hearing to true listening, soul-level presence that honors both outer voices and your inner knowing. What messages have you dismissed? What truths have you silenced, especially your own? Listening is not passive. It is an act of reverence. In a world of constant volume, your attention becomes a sacred offering. Let each sound teach you something about your boundaries, your compassion, your alignment. This card urges stillness. Let understanding unfold in the quiet. Let empathy guide your interpretation. Reversed, it's overexposure to noise, emotional or external, may be distorting your clarity and draining your energy. Turn down the volume, listen inward, and reclaim your frequency. Ooh. Yeah, and I've felt this lately, with being immersed in the mundane. There's always a lot going on. There's 3 children, during the day, usually 3 adults. Yeah, that's a lot of noise. I feel this. And some days I just I have to go through the motions to get through because it's just overwhelming. Duality. Yeah, absolutely. In everything. So of course it's within us and outside of us. But it's still us. It's our perception of it. Death. And look, that, yes, death of many things there, right? Tradition and establishments, religion, death of old beliefs. That could be anything. Time, because it doesn't exist. It's now, right? The past is gone. It's a reflection now. Wow. The wing. Yeah. Self-awareness. Absolutely. I'm looking at this code right here. It's interesting. Let's look, shall we? Because I bet you're wondering too, right? So self-awareness is 22. Insight, reflection, and humility. Self-awareness is the mirror that reflects not just your face, but your essence. It is the moment you see yourself seeing. Yes. Yes. The fold in reality where consciousness loops back inward. This card marks a turning point. The realization that your being is layered, vast, and in motion. You are not fixed to one realm. Through introspection, meditation, altered states, or spontaneous stillness, you traverse multiple planes of existence. You shift between the physical and the immaterial, the visible and the veiled. Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel that. Gosh, I could do a whole podcast on what it means to be self-aware. It's the I am. Understanding for me that it's nothing but it's everything. And there's so much involved in it that your perception is, it's being aware that your perception is just that. What is real? I don't know. Only you know. The moth. Yeah. Wow. So many things. The earth. That's interesting. I'm looking at there's a missing line right there. Is it missing or is that the entryway? Is that the way in? And then the black box in the center. Wow. Water. Yeah. Water holds memory, doesn't it? air. That's that whole mental. And then there's cardiovascular. Like, what does that mean, right? What does that mean? It's the blood carries what? What does the blood carry? That's the masculine, but there's the... So the masculine is below. I'm just interpreting and talking out loud. Fire. Yes. The bell. Another thing with frequency. And look at its faces, and they are speaking energy. And look. Wow. Visitation. Wow. Have you been visited? I have. But I still think it's all part of an illusion. Yeah. It's all part of a story, and it means something, right? Our memories remember, you know what I mean? It's like we remember the visions. We don't remember words so much as we remember what we saw. For myself. The spider. Oh my. And that looks, is that a marking or is that like an atomic bomb? Interesting. Let's see what it says about the spider. Mystery, creation, perseverance. A spider moves with elegant precision, weaving a web both fragile and unbreakable. Each thread is placed with care, each pattern built through patience. Suspended between worlds, the spider lives in a liminal space. Part artist, part strategist, part mystic. This card invites you to reflect on your own patterns. What are you building with your thoughts, or with your time, thoughts, and energy? And does it truly serve the life you're trying to create? Yeah, wow. The sun. Yep. The devil. Look at that tongue. That forked tongue. Yep. Let's see. That's a big yes. Understand. Telepathy. And there's that card. Yes. That's right. That's exactly it. That's also so neurodivergent right there that, you know, they would love to program us to be neurotypical. And what, you know, even with having an autistic granddaughter, sorry, Michaela, diagnosed anyway. I think Michaela's also autistic, but she's not diagnosed. Anyway, what I'm saying is in order for us to feel safe, there's therapy called ABA therapy that is to help her function in a neurotypical world and be perceived and communicate, which is understandable, but yet that's to make us feel safe for her. Whereas for her to feel safe, she just needs to be recognized, you know, and that she is neurodivergent and she does communicate this way. Anyway, the soul. Yeah. The tree. Yeah, wow. I like that. And there's the 3 crosses or whatever. That's interesting. The oracle. Yeah. Wow. The war. Speaking of, that's, yeah. Wow. The skull. Wow. The moon. Interesting. The hive. Yeah. Yeah. I've been watching a show called Pluribus. And I think I'm only on the 4th episode, but yeah, it's a virus that causes the human race to have a hive mind. Not everybody in the world, like 13 people, aren't a part of it, but the hive is very compassionate towards the ones that aren't a part of it. So that's where I'm at. Very interesting show. Hierarchy. Yeah. Look at the keys. Yep. Psyche. Yeah. And look, there's a tooth in the chest. Wow. Holy smokes. Vision. Wow. Dragonfly. Ooh, I haven't saw the dragonfly in a while. Wow, and look at the intricacies in the wings. Beautiful. The omen. Wow, and it's a crow, a black bird. Yeah. Alchemy. Sorry about the background noise if you can hear that. My daughter's downstairs. She is very animated with somebody. Alchemy. Oh, goodness. Wow. Yeah. Wow. I love that. Alchemy is everything. Magic. I love the way he spells magic, too. I love that. That's like a thing, right? What is the difference? What is the difference in the spelling? What does the difference in the spelling mean to you? Good question, right? I've never noticed it more than I have since coming to this community. And I always spelled it M-A-G-I-C. So, what is the difference to you? I see no difference, personally. But I see people use it. And I think, what does it mean to you? Waxing crescent, because I think magic is in everything. I think it's very alchemical. Waxing crescent. Beautiful. Yes. Wow. Huh. And this is excellent because, I mean, we as people that observe the occult, we observe the moon and the cycles, right? So this is excellent. It really is. And it's one thing that I always have to, like, what is the waxing crescent? What does that mean when it's coming up? And I'm thinking, how can I use that energy? So having it in an oracle deck like this is awesome. I have other, oracle decks that talk about this. My sister, of course, is extremely knowledgeable. And most times I can just ask her. Emergence, momentum, becoming. Yes. A time of growing inner strength. Wow. I love that. That's excellent. The first quarter. Waxing gibbous. And full moon. Wow. And look, that's also the symbol for the sun, right? Interesting. Because yes, isn't that what the full moon is? It's opposite of the sun. Well, what does this say? The full moon brings you face to face with your own reflection. Yeah, okay. Culmination, power, transformation. Wow. That's brilliant. That is just brilliant. Daniel, you are brilliant. The wanting gibbous. Yeah. Last quarter. Wanting crescent. Yeah. Wow. New moon. Oh my goodness. That is fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. Enigma. Okay, so these are the Enigma cards. Okay. Are they the Enigma cards? Or this is just the whole... Okay. All right, these are all the cards. Okay, gotcha. Oh, right. This must have something to do with... Okay, well, these are just all the cards then. Okay. I think maybe... let me see if there's... Yes, there's repeats. Okay. Because I just noticed that... See, 45 and 45. So these are placements on specific placements, right? Okay, so there would be a... All right, well, okay. So those are... What remains unsaid? Enigma isn't here to give you all the answers. It's here to help you ask better questions. Okay. Over time, you'll notice patterns. What once seemed confusing starts to make sense. Watching them, watching us. Wow. Okay, so how to play Enigma. Okay, inspired by Bingo. Okay, so each player receives one of the 7 game boards. So these are the game boards. And there are 7. Okay. A caller draws and announces card from the deck. Oh, players cover matching images with small markers, beans, buttons, coins, or paper. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the goal is to complete a chosen pattern, row, column, diagonal, full board. The first to finish calls out Enigma to win. So I need some players. We're gonna have to do this. Maybe I could get oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to do this. I'll do it with the girls. Each card drawn carries symbolic meaning. The order in which cards appear forms a narrative, turning the game into a collective reading. The completed pattern is more than a victory. It is a reflection of hidden order. Enigma is not merely a game. It is an oracle, a ritual, and a mirror of deeper design. Oh, holy smokes. Okay, we got to play. You know what? Okay. All right. This is what I'm going to do. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to shuffle these, and then I'm going to, mess these around, and we're going to pick one, and then I'm just going to draw off the top, and that's going to be the collective message. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, so this will be time-stamped Enigma, the game Enigma. Okay, so if you don't want to participate or don't want to see what the message is for the collective, go ahead, click off. I'm not going to be offended. I know this is long already. So what I'm going to do then is pick a board for the collective. And it's this one. Okay. So now I'm going to take these right here. I've already shuffled them, but I'm going to cut them. I'm going to cut them in 3. And the top cards will be how I draw. And we'll see what we get, okay? So I'm going to cut 1, 2, and 3. These will be the top right here. Okay. So let's do this. Okay, so I want you to be able to see, and we'll pull from here. Okay. Okay. Oh, and it's in reverse, so that's significant too. So we'll leave it. We'll leave it because we're going to read that way. It's still gonna... Are these all in reverse? Because if that's the case, yeah, they are. All right. So we're not going to leave them that way. We're going to put them like this. So and we're still pulling. Yep, we got that one. So let's put this over here. So however we get it, it's like bingo, right? Let's relook at this real quick, because that is, we're either going to see it that way, this way, that way, or in the corners, or in there. So it's just like bingo. So whichever ones show up first. That's not on there. That's not on there. Neither is that. Neither is that. That is. Oh, look, we're getting close there, aren't we? The spider is not. Yep, that's on there. The heart. Wow, okay, so that's down here, though, so. All right. That's not. No. Nope. Nope. Oh, that is. Okay, so we've got here, 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 and here. Okay, so we could be working on that. Yep, we've got the devil. Okay. Nope. 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 Yes, so we got that. Let's go ahead and we'll put these over here, because that's where we're at right now. Right? Those are separate. Okay. Okay, I left that in there, but that's not part of it. Nope. Oh, wait a minute. Was no. Okay, sorry. But that is. So that's here. No. That goes with this one. Okay. All right. Yes, magic. Oh, wow. So that's over here. Boy, we're getting close to this corner one up here. All right. Wing. Nope. Okay. Oh, well, of course, I left that in there. I always do that. You guys know me. Oh, okay. So there's the crow. So now, wow, we're almost at, we're close. We're really close, guys. So, wow. Really close to a message here. Okay, so that's that one. That goes with the heart. No drag. Yep, dragonfly. So this is it. This is it, guys. This is the message. Wow. Yes. So we've got the dragonfly. We've got 41, and then we have the beast, the psyche, and the omen, and the dragonfly. All right, so let's put these others back and let's read about these, because this is the message. This is a message for the collective. This is just phenomenal. Phenomenal. And I think, I mean, I know this is already long, and you can click off if it's long. So let's check it out. Let's start with the 13, 41, 43, and 44. So we've got the beast, which is 13. This is a collective message. Shadow, desire, manipulation. The beast rises from the hidden layers of the self, where instinct, hunger, and cunning reside. It is neither fully evil nor fully false. It is the masked force that calls from the corners of the psyche. This, okay, and then psyche is also one of them. Interesting. The card speaks to unacknowledged urges, masked intentions, and the seduction of control. The figure with 6 horns and open hand offers not peace, but persuasion, and an invitation cloaked in charm. Wow. So this could be self-deception, power games, unconscious sabotage. Remove the mask before it grows permanent. When the beast appears, face what hides beneath the surface. Your shadow is not your enemy. It is your mirror. What it shows you can free you. So this is the shadow card. Okay. And then the psyche. So this is truth, essence, and integration. Here we are. We are, like, these cards go together, right? Automatically. You're being called beneath the surface, past roles and reactions, into deeper territory of your being. This card asks you to listen, not with your mind, but with your whole presence. The psyche is not what you show the world. It is what holds you together beneath it all. It speaks through memory, instinct, dreams, and emotions, weaving the unseen patterns that shape your choices. If things feel fractured, it is not a sign of failure, but of something asking to be brought back into alignment. So now is time for inner attention. So in reverse, it's disassociation, avoidance, or over-identification with false self. Reconnect gently. Your truth has been waiting beneath the noise. The fact that these two are together, and this is a collective message, I feel like it's telling us to stop looking at social media, the news, what's going on outside of us as that's the truth, because the truth is inside and we have to start here, right? So yeah, wow. We're going to move on because we're going to see what the dragonfly is. So that's pattern. And what are we seeing? It's like history repeating itself, right? A dragonfly hovers between two ancient symbols. Its wings flicker with iridescent motion, repeating loops too intricate to follow. Nothing about it is accidental. It is the product of millions of years of refinement, carried by the wind but shaped by unseen order. The dragonfly appears lightly but never without purpose. This card signals the arrival of transformation, and I am seeing that. I'm seeing it within, my small group of friends. I'm seeing it in the things that I look at. You know what I mean? I think what we look at is also what we bring to us. You know what I mean? It's, if I'm looking at whatever I'm scrolling on, I will see more of that. And I'm seeing more and more of this. So reverse, it's disruption, over-analysis, or fear of breaking a fragile peace. Trust the shift. Not all change begins with thunder. That is interesting. And so now the omen. The omen. Warning, message, transition. Something is coming. I feel that. The omen stands at the edge of your awareness, subtle, yet undeniable. Its presence signals that something meaningful is stirring just beneath the surface, an event, a shift, or a realization waiting to land. This card asks you to pause, not out of fear, but out of respect. Okay, so this is a threshold moment. In reverse, it means disregarded signs, false interpretations, or fear-driven choices. Hallelujah. This message will repeat until you listen. Clarity requires courage. I feel like everything that we see is a distraction from what's inside. What are the patterns? What are we not seeing? What's happening? What is an illusion? What is real? I mean, there's so much stuff happening right now. Politically, across the world, or in the skies. What is it? What's important to you? What is it that you cannot forget? What is it that keeps repeating? That's what needs to be worked out, right? For me, it's that 3-eye atlas, because all the other stuff is, it's happening, and I know it is, but I also know that social media is not, even the news is not going to cover the truth, because the truth has to be searched for. It's never, it can be right in front of our face, but what's right in front of your face can be manipulated, right? It can deceive you. It can deceive you. It takes knowing what's inside your own perception to understand it. And so for the collective, I think it is saying that, look a little deeper, because the answers are within you. What is it that you keep seeing? What is it calling you to do? I don't know. That's pretty profound. Yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments. Did this speak to you on a mundane level, or do you feel like this is stuff that's happening, you know, that is around you? You know, what is your psyche telling you? What is your shadow wanting you to address? And what patterns keep repeating, right? What ancient patterns? What do we keep seeing? What keeps repeating itself? And what's the omen? Whew. Whoa, I think it could speak to each of us differently. So let me know. Let me know in the comments. And let me know what you think of this phenomenal deck. Holy smokes. I am just blown away. And I'm going to be playing Enigma quite a bit. That's, whew, wow. Yeah. So, you know, all the links will be in the description. Make sure you go to Daniel's page for all the links. Make sure you grab one of these for yourself. Holy smokes. I don't think you will be disappointed. And I would just want to say thank you, Daniel, for trusting me with this, you know, and giving me permission to showcase your stuff. And your generosity is just immense. And I hope that you are doing well, as I hope all of you are doing well. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day. And thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you in the next one.